Hi guys, in this video I'm going to be sharing my secrets with you. We've written over 1000 SOPs at YMGrad right now in the last one and a half years itself. And I want to tell you that the kind of places people have been able to go from over here, let me just give you some examples. We have University of Manchester, University of British Columbia, University of Toronto, Purdue, University of Melbourne, Columbia, UCLA, UC Berkeley, and even Stanford. Okay, so this is the power of a good SOP. Of course, I'm not disregarding anyone's profiles over here. They do matter as well, but at the same time, your SOP is probably one of the most important documents that you will be submitting in your whole application process. And in this video, I'm going to be showing you exactly what you need to do. If you have, chances are when you're watching this video, you have already sat down in front of a blank sheet of paper and you don't really know what you're doing. You're just sitting there, you don't know what to type, and you have to create a new statement of purpose. You don't really know what to do. We've all been there. It happens at times. And even when we've written thousands of statements, a lot of times we contemplate as well, and it happens to the best of us. So don't worry about it. It's perfectly normal. Now I'll tell you exactly what we'll be doing in this video. First, I'm going to be giving you some tips to make sure that your SOP turns out to be some of the best drafts that the admissions committee has seen. Okay. And after that, I'm going to be giving you a format. Now at YMGrad, we do not really follow any particular format, but I tried to pen it down as close to a format as I could, and I'm going to be giving that to you for free in this video. Now, believe me guys, if some of you feel that you need help, extra help, that you're not able to do this, we also do this for you. For instance, if you just go into the services section, you will find the statement of purpose service over there. You can go ahead and you can get it done through us. You can get it done through me. But for those of you who would like to know the process themselves and who would like to really go ahead and do it themselves, this is the process we follow. And trust me, this will change your game. All right. So I'm going to start right off with the first tip over here, guys. And the one that I have over here is read the instructions. A lot of people that I know, they would use the same statement of purpose at every university they apply to. They wouldn't bother reading the instructions. Now, the most important thing that I've learned is that you cannot disregard the instructions given to you by any university. No matter what it is, MBA, MS, bachelor's, PhD, whatever it is, read what a university asks of you. What do they really want you to tell them? What kind of information are they looking for? Because trust me, every university is looking for something else, something different. So you need to understand their question. So make sure that you read it properly, okay? And if you go ahead and you see the services page on YMGrad, we do this as well. And the most important bit that we do is customizations. You have to customize the SOP. We change it based on the professor that you may be interested in, the university itself, what the university specializes in, and of course the word limits. The biggest point, guys, word limits change all the time. For instance, Purdue is famous for having a 500 word limit for the SOP, whereas other universities like USC might even give you no limit. They say that, hey, even if it's 2 or 3 pages, that's fine with us. Of course, you should never exceed 2 pages though if you're doing it right. Okay, so keep those tips in mind. The next thing that I'll tell you over here is to avoid grammatical errors. Okay, and this is the single-handed factor that kind of shows you how serious you are about a university, about your application, about your admission into that university. If you are giving them a draft with grammatical issues, man, you are in for some easy rejection, because that just shows that, hey, look, this person is just not interested. He's not so keen about getting into the program that he could even proofread the draft. And as good as our grammar is, even as professionals when we write, right, I still think that we always need a helping hand. Now, this video is not sponsored, but you can go ahead and use Grammarly. I think that's a very good tool, and even if you're getting the premium version for 5 or 6 months, it's worth it. Not only will it improve your grammar, but also you will bring out stellar statements that you can use in your applications. Not just statements, you can also use it for all other things, all other writing that you do. And if you just go on to the website, I'll give you the link to the website down below, you will see that you can gain 6 months Grammarly access for something as close around, and I'm not going to give you the exact price, but I think it's around $40, $30 for 6 months. So go ahead, take advantage of that. Grammarly is one of the best tools for statements of purpose. Okay, point number 3 over here, and that is to use 1 point per paragraph. Now, a lot of people would start off their first paragraph by talking about something like, hey, look, my bachelor's is in this field, my master's is in this field, I'm going for a PhD, I have worked in this. What are you trying to achieve in that paragraph? You're giving them all the information and it's all kind of jumbled up. No one's gonna make anything out of it. So make sure that you have a point to convey. Every single paragraph that you start off, it should have a point that this is what I'm trying to convey. Okay, so keep that in mind. Point number 4 is avoid digressing from your purpose. You're writing your statement of purpose, statement of intent, personal statement, whatever you want to call it. It has to be about your purpose. Why do you want to pursue this degree, and why this college and why this university should accept you? Nothing else. If something doesn't really count towards that, you don't need to tell them. If you did a job at McDonald's for 6 months, that doesn't really help you get into an MS in computer science program, for instance. That doesn't help you get into an archaeological program. Because a job at McDonald's does not serve any kind of purpose. It's not really your purpose. And the direction that you're moving in right now, you want to show them, hey, look, I'm moving in this direction because I did this, I did that. But how does the job at McDonald's fit that? That's what I'm trying to say. And a lot of people do that. It may seem so easy that I'm telling you about this when the example is about McDonald's. But let's say if you did an example, you're a computer science student and you did an example project on maybe tic-tac-toe, you created a tic-tac-toe. But now you're going for an MBA. Well, why are you writing about that tic-tac-toe game that you created? Because it clearly doesn't have any significance unless and until, of course, millions of people are using that game right now. Okay, so keep that in mind. Not millions, of course. Even if thousands are, then it may be worth writing about. But otherwise, no, don't worry about it. The next point is to avoid mentioning so many projects. A lot of students I know, they mention 10 experiences, 3 projects, 3 internships, 3 work experience, and they cannot fit it all in detail, of course, because the word limit is there. So what they do is they write 2 lines about everything. You're killing yourself there, mate. You're doing the worst thing, because just consider this. You want to tell them about your purpose, right? And you're telling them about, hey, look, I did this project, I did this project. This should be in your resume, not in your, or maybe your portfolio, but not in your statement of purpose. What is your purpose? Is the purpose really being served by these 9 experiences? No, you're writing down 10 experiences superficially. Instead, just write down 2 or 3 experiences and go really in depth. Tell them exactly what you were thinking when you did these projects, what you learned, what kind of obstacles you face. These kind of issues, they're not really covered in your resume if you understand the difference between a resume and a statement of purpose. These are just not present in there. So take advantage of that fact. Number 6, the child prodigy. We've all seen that. A lot of people start their statement of purpose with this thing that, hey, ever since I was a child, I did this, I did that. No one cares. Talk about what you've been doing in the last 3-4 years, not more than that. That's all they care about. Okay? Keep that in mind. Point number 7. Universities are always looking for candidates who can increase the diversity that they have at the university. You are going for a program in marketing, but you have some background or maybe some experience in maybe politics. Talk about it. It increases the diversity. What did you do? What kind of committees did you start? What kind of things did you do? All right, maybe you have some experience in music. Maybe you are a national level musician. Talk about it. How do you increase the diversity at a university? It could be anything. It could really be anything. All right, but it needs to be something that the university will see that, hey, look, adding this person to our batch will essentially give it a more diverse curriculum. And that's what the universities are always striving for, especially in the US, Canada, Australia, Germany, all these places. Point number 8 is to keep it as concise as possible. Now, that's exactly what I'm doing with this video, and that's exactly what you should do with your draft, okay? Because, see, no one likes to read a 2-3 page draft when they have to, basically they're reading thousands of drafts every single day, right? No one would like a very long draft. Personally, if you ask me, what is the optimal length? I would say that if I were to write my own statement of purpose right now, I would try to keep it under 500, even 600 words. It doesn't need to be more than that. Some scenarios, exceptions, maybe you've done a lot of work, maybe you have a lot of experience, it can go up to 800 words, max 900 words, no more than that. After that, you're just making a mess of it, I would say. So try to keep that in control. I know you can do it, and I'm going to leave you with that. Point number 9, and this is the final point that I'm going to give you over here. I know the 10 sounds a little bit more easy to follow, but 9 is the number over here. And point number 9 is that you need to have a flow. A lot of people, they would just not have any sort of flow going on. Maybe the most common flow is chronology. You can basically talk about things that you did in the order that you did them. Hey, I did this internship, then I did this job, then I'm applying for this program, this is it. That's still a flow, but a lot of times people break the flow. Moving from one paragraph to the other, it's not as simple. That's why every single time we do a draft, the last line of each paragraph is kind of trying to go flow into the next paragraph. It's kind of building up towards the next paragraph. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you can do that, that's again an amazing thing. I cannot go very much into the details of that, how we do that, but that's exactly what we do. All right, guys. So we do not follow any particular format, like I said, but right now I'm going to give you a format that you can use. Now, this is going to be very close to a rough sort of a format. It's not going to exactly tell you, hey, paragraph 1, write this, paragraph 2, write this. Okay, I'm going to just give you over here 5 points. Each one of these points can be covered in 1 or more paragraphs, but try to cover every single one of these points, okay? Because these are generally important. And even if you follow this flow of the order, point number 1 you have to do this, point number 2 you have to do this, I think you'll end up in a pretty good place as compared to most applicants. Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll begin right away. Number 1 point that I've written over here is catchy introduction. You need to start with something that kind of pulls the reader in, that hey, look, I want to read more, I'm kind of curious what happened next. Start with something like that. Number 2 is previous academic experience. All right, and this really is important because you need to show that your academics, what you learned, how that academics, high school, bachelor's, whatever you studied, how that kind of led you towards this place right now, today, that you are applying for this program. Okay, and these should really kind of be very, very, they should delve in, they should be coherent. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, the next thing that we have written over here, point number 3, is to talk about your projects, your internships, work X, or your leadership X. All right, I'm writing a lot of points over here, but that's only to show that, hey, look, even if you have all of these experiences, try to pick out maybe at max 2 or 3 of them, which were really, really valuable in shaping your journey to this point, and then talk about them in detail. Of course, every single one of these deserves a separate paragraph of their own, okay? Point number 4 over here that I've written is extracurriculars. You go over them, but go over them only very, very briefly. You see if there are some clubs at that university that you may be able to contribute to, really showing the university how you can contribute to the diversity at that place. That's what we're looking for in this point. And the final point over here, guys, is why this university and why they should select you. Now, this can happen for various ways. Maybe you like a professor over there, their research. Maybe you've been in touch with them, right? Maybe there's some special thing about their program. You need to point that out. Why this program and why they should select you. Okay, so you're showing them that yes, you've done your homework, and at the same time, why they should select you is because of this. Have some special qualities. Why you're the perfect fit for this program. Okay, and that is exactly where I will be concluding this short format. I said we don't really follow a format in particular, but you need to know this. This is like general flow. Like this is everything that you should include in the SOP. Still, if you need more help, you know where to find me. I already told you we can do this for you. But if you want to do this on your own, this is how you do it. All right. I'm not saying there's no other way to do it, but this is a good way to do it. All right. It'll work out in most cases. Okay. Now, if you'd like to know more about, how you get into the universities, really what the admissions process is, what are the ways to get application fee waivers, what are the ways to get GRE waivers, a lot of things going on, man. A lot of things going on. You can go on, you can sign up to YMGrad.com. Okay, when you sign up over there, you will find that you will have a information trove over there. Really, it's a lot of things that you can use in your day-to-day when you're applying for universities. Okay, not just scholarships. There's other decisions also from other people, universities, which universities you should apply to, all of these things. Okay, and all of this, most of this is actually for free. Of course, there are some premium services that you can avail in case you're interested. Otherwise, just keep using the free ones, man. What's the point? All right, so thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Again, my Instagram is right over there if you would like to connect with me. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye and have a great day.